Welcome back. Let's now start to learn the JavaScript, starting with this values and variables. Yeah, let's go ahead and remove some unnecessary things here. Let's just remove this line. And also we'll remove this alert because it's keep on popping up. So it's an diversion. So we remove that. And let's write a piece of code here, console.log. So this console.log you will hear from me throughout this course because it is a crucial code here, so which is actually to give in the main result. So we'll use this as console log. So we'll just go ahead and write your own name, so you can just write out here. So console.log, we'll write your own name, and then we'll give this colon, and also we'll okay, let's just go ahead for right now. Go to this page and let's go inspect, and let's go to console, and we'll refresh this page. Inspect console. Here we have the logit. So here we have JS4, which is JS2 here. So here in this JS script here, which is the number line 4, which is indicating here, as you all can see here. In the same way, we can write console.log numeric value also, which doesn't require any quotations here. So let's just save this file, and let's go ahead and let's reload this, and let's inspect console. Yeah, here we have, which is in the line number 5. So basically console.log, which we have declared in the first thing, is a variable here, and we have declared here numeric value. And also let's go ahead and let me give you another example. Let's assume our first name equals to, write some max, for example. Let's write it here, and let's just close the brackets, and let's save the file, and console.log, yeah, here first name, and close this bracket, and let's save the file, and let's go ahead and let's reload this page. This console.log, here we have this output here. So we have kept let and this string here, first name with is the string here, and max is the set output for that string. So let me give you a few more example. Let's just go ahead, copy, and let's just paste it. So in this case, let's save the file, let's reload this page. So here you can see max, and we have our line of code where we have declared it in the line here. Okay, here it is easier to recall the max in a one simple line of code. We can use this as a main character here. So when we use this first name, it always declares this max, so it is very helpful to call out multiple times. So we just given this string here, max here. Let's go ahead and understand the errors which we are getting in the console. So let me write a simple line of code. So let's assume, let's 3 years equals to 3. So 3 here we are setting here, right? So let's just go ahead and save. So here we got an invalid syntax. So here initially you shouldn't start with the numeric value. Okay, so they have the syntaxes error actually. So in order to write the correct way, we have to use like first name, or you can assume this as first underscore name, and or else you can write first text. Okay, In this way you can just go ahead and you can write this is invalid sentence, these are the valid syntaxes. And also first letter in this variable here, we are declaring the string, right? It should not start with the capital letter. So initially there shouldn't be any capital letters, there shouldn't be any numeric values, and there shouldn't be any symbols except the dollar symbol. For example, we can write here this dollar symbol here, here, and let's just remove this and let's go ahead and save it. So in order to get this output, console.log, yeah, there we go. Here these are the correct syntaxes. We just called out this with this dollar symbol, which we are getting the output in the 16th line, which we have called it here. So this is the correct way of syntax using this calling out values and variables. Okay. And also by default this browser have some syntax errors, so which we cannot use here. So for example, let me show you. Here we are using the call out right here. In here if we use this function, so it doesn't get declared. So here by default it doesn't accept some words like function. Okay. And also there is one more word which is called new. New is a reserved keyword, same as like a function which is a reserved keyword. Sometimes we also get a name. It will work, but in some cases it will get failed. So in order to make it work, you don't use just name, use like name, dollar or underscore, whatever is it. Don't use the spaces, so in order to get it work. Okay. Here we are getting the call out max here in the 16th line, which is name underscore dollar here, which we just called out. Yeah, try out these functions. Majorly there are two things which doesn't get work because they are reserved keywords. They are function and new. Sometimes in some cases it is name also. So always don't start your variable calling here with capital letters, and don't use starting with the numeric values, and don't use any spaces between, and no symbols should be called out except the dollar symbol. It doesn't get, you'll get a syntax error or the errors here pop up here. So just go through and try your code and just try to understand the errors what you are calling out for. So here let me give you another example. So let's just think that here person name is John underscore name equals to, here we are giving out max 123. So here if we give J initially, as I told you, like here if we use the initially uppercasing letter, it gives the error. So if you want, just go ahead and try it out. But there are some cases where which are fixed constants, like let pi equals to, here they have the fixed value. So in these cases, pi value is universally fixed, which is, so we can use the capital letters here in this variables. Pi value gets here the fixed. So I'll just show you. See here. the capital letters here, the upper casings here. So in other cases, if we have given example, let's just copy this and paste, and let's just give first person. Let's just call it out console.log, and after opening the brackets you can just type the first letter. Here it is, and let's just close the bracket, save it, and let's just go ahead and reload this page. Here we are not getting the output because here we have declared the first variable and here first word as upper casings. If it is in the small letters, and save it and call it out, and here also you need to make the change to small and just save it, refresh, and see, here you got max. We have to remember the keywords which were not going to work, like new, function, and sometimes in some cases name and this upper casing. So these and all you need to put on a hands-on work so that you just get experience by. So let's go ahead and let's write one more example. Let's write my first job. Coder. Okay, and let my teacher. So let job one So here in this both cases, we have given my first job as a coder and my current job as teacher, and my first job coder, my second job teacher. So basically, while writing the coding, you have to be very specific and clear. So in case you have to reuse this, so let's say that my first job as a coder and then my current job as a teacher. So this is much better than writing this job one coder and job two teacher. So which set of variables do you think is more descriptive? So this is the one. I hope you agree with me. So let's just make this easier to understand what coder and teacher are in this case or here. By simply looking at the variable name, we know that my first job was a coder. And sometimes in the future, if you just simply go ahead and look into this job one, you might get confused between coder or teacher. So my first job, which is specifies out as a coder, so sometimes variables has to be called out clearly. So in my case, I am using this is my preference. So that's it for this session. I'll see you in the next section.